Let's go. Enough of that. I'm ready to go. What's good? Where everybody at? Where we at? Looks like I'm having some problems with my live though. We just gonna go on, bro. I was trying to get it to act right. I don't know what's going on. The last couple weeks been kind of slow as far as I don't know why things are moving like that. Look like YouTube is yeah, it's just now dialing up. X is now dialing up. Um my page is now finally dialing up. I don't know what it is. I have a small inkling of what it may be. Can you guys hear me okay? Are we good on the sound? Are we good on the sound? Let me tell you what I think it is. People don't really want to watch me until 1:30. They think that we get started at 1:30 and that's duly my fault. That's solely my fault. Thanks, DC said loud and clear. I appreciate it. It's my fault that people come in at 1:30. It's my fault. Mainly because the way my schedule is, and I'm honest. I'm honest about being late because I do when I come home from the office, I take a shower and I throw my hoodie on and I'm ready to go, most times. If I have a call coming in or something, I take that call. Pardon me, my sinuses are acting up on me today. I actually just got out the shower. I don't know what's going on with this Cincinnati weather. I mean, it's very humid. I don't It's a combination of humidity and like really, really, really dry. I shouldn't say dry, that wouldn't make sense. It's humid slash dry hot. I don't know what that is. But it's almost, let me give you a good example of what I'm talking about. Anyone that's ever been on the West Coast, and I don't mean all the way to the coast, I mean like the Arizona, Colorado area, it's that type of hot where the sun doesn't necessarily have to be out for it to be 80 degrees, 90 degrees. And that's what we're getting in Cincinnati right now. My sinuses, I have a sinus drip. It is absolutely killing me. It is absolutely killing me because of the weather change. And then Florida is a totally different hot. It's a different type of heat. And then going into these environments, one right after the other, it really messes me up. But that being said, I'm here. I can go at maybe an hour. Let's see, hour and a half maybe, and we can try to get this one going up and and make some noise and see how we're gonna do today. Let's see what happens. Let me just ask you guys something real fast. What's going on in the Natty right now? I hear there's a bunch of police cars and there's a bunch of police at the scene of an incident. I don't know exactly where the address is, but I did hear that there is a huge police presence right now. I can only think of maybe one or two things that bring out a district like that or a surrounding all points bulletin type of thing. And it's usually something dealing with these guns. And I don't mean cap guns, I don't mean BB guns, I mean them real guns that hurt and kill. That's the only thing I can think of. Can somebody fill me in and let me know? I tried to check the news right before I came on the air, and they're not saying anything yet. Mainly because I guess maybe there's not a news, like a news broadcast on right now. It would have to be an interruption of a show, and they don't really do that. They're not gonna interrupt the show unless it's something really crazy. My God, if they give us some real information at the same time all my children is on, shit. Y'all might flip over something crazy if they interrupt all my children or your stories to tell you what's going on in your city. I told you, they really don't want to tell you the crime that's going on. You only hear about 10% of the crime that's going on in your city. You only hear 10% of it on the news, and it's picked and chosen to you of what they want you to know and what they want you to hear. Because if you hear all the things that's going on in the city, and it's not just Cincinnati, so don't think that I'm attacking my my city. I'm not attacking my city. This is going on this is going on everywhere. And the reason why they don't want you to know is because they don't want you asking those questions. They don't want those pivotal questions asked. I know that kind of sounds strange, but it's real. It's real. I heard somebody say something, of course, ridiculous comment on the radio again, and they said some things to the nature of police officers don't have a strenuous job. See, them the type of minds that don't even understand. And you're never going to teach them because they've already been, I don't want to say brainwashed, but they've already been zoned into believing that, you know, police bad, whatever. I ain't even gonna go into all of that. But for you to have a job like that, I don't know one police officer in his or her years of doing service or duties for the city of Cincinnati or other, other police departments across the cities or across the states and the cities. They all see crazy stuff. They all walk into apartments and babies are in their feces or in the pee or whatever, bro. They see some of the craziest stuff. They see some of the craziest and the most dangerous stuff every day. And you ain't gonna say that these folks don't make enough, that they don't see enough. They're not that stressed out, that they get paid to do the job. Well, I mean, come on, bro. It's always the people that ain't never done it that say the most. For some odd reason, the people who say shit the loudest and got the most to say, be the ones that do the least amount of anything that they talking about. I don't hear police officers coming out here saying that, and I sure in the hell don't hear security guards. I don't hear EMT workers. I don't hear anybody who had a real job and putting in some real work out here. I very seldom hear them come forward talking about, you know what, we don't really do shit for our money. Yeah, in police academy, we got trained where if somebody talk too much, we gonna knock their ass out. Yeah, that's part of it. I get. Nah, this is crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, the guy said, and here go the crazy thing. I don't know how many people. I'm gonna move fast today, okay? So you got to keep up with me. I'm not really feeling it, so I'm gonna get this shit off my chest. You got people bitching and complaining about how much police presence there are at certain events, and then you got people that bitch and complain that there wasn't enough police. What do you want? This is the fine. This is a fine definition of a chaos agent. They rip and run and talk about how it was 32 police officers at our event. We don't need all that. That's over policing. And then when they don't have enough police officers at the event, they say some shit like, well, how many people in the district over there? How many people need to be? They need more police officers out here to be working these events. And then these shootings won't happen. You mean like down on Main Street where the police officers were standing out there and they were actually in the crossfire of two idiots shooting amongst each other? 9 people shot? You mean now those police officers, if there's more presence of police out, police officers don't stop crime. You know that, right? I don't know how many people need to hear that. Police officers do not, they might be a deterrent, but in the environment that we live in and the temperature of the police we live in right now, shit, people will rob a bank with a security guard or a police officer at the front door. They don't care. So tell me, what do you want? Agents? Do you want more police officers or do you want less police officers? I'm confused. I got to drop something on you real fast because here's the thing. I've done events. I've been part of events. I've ran events. I've scheduled events, outdoors, indoors, and all of that. There are laws in this. Well, I don't know if it's I know there's rules and regulations. All right, there's a difference between a rule and a regulation. There are rules and regulations and laws. There's differences. If I throw a function, let's just say at a park, first of all, there's a process for that. I have to get a permit from the city. In that permit, there's rules and regulations that I have to follow. There's things such as off-duty security guards, on-duty security guards. You as a promoter or whatever you call yourself, you're obligated to provide what's on the rider of the contract, your license, your permit. If it says you have to have security, which it always says that if you're doing a some type of outdoor or indoor function that involves the public, there's always security required if you're doing certain numbers or anticipating certain numbers. I don't know what the argument is. Can somebody help me out? Somebody said from that last shooting that they had the other day that there wasn't enough police officers there. What is that about? Can somebody tell me? Because there are requirements. Did the promoter or the people who put on the show? I thought they did. I didn't see it. So, but what I seen on Facebook or social media, it looked like they were doing what they were supposed to do. I'm sure they had a permit. The one in Madisonville, so I can be clear. I'm sure they had a permit of some sort, didn't they? Because I haven't heard anything else. Trust me, if they didn't, you would have heard about it. So I'm sure they had a permission. They probably followed the guidelines as well. Had as many security guards. First of all, they're going to tell you you need off-duty security guards, which is called a detail. And if you have that and you're fitting, all the guidelines of the permit, you're good. But the police don't stop people from shooting. It's some brave knuckleheads out here. But I'll tell you this. There were a lot more successful weekend adventures than it was failures. Like I said the other day, there were more successful get together over the weekend than it was failures. We didn't have 32 shootings like Chicago did. I know Chicago's much larger. Chicago is a more outdoorish type of situation than Cincinnati is. I mean, the population of blacks are, in our community, and we do the get-togethers and stuff. Their population is probably three or four times larger than ours. But why do we expect it? I mean, how are we expecting the police to stop violence? It really doesn't happen that way. They're a deterrent, yes, and that's why they want you to have security in your function at the door. I was required. I can't remember all the details, but I was required on most of my events. My security detail was well over $1,000 on all my boxing events. Let's just use those for an example. I had to have two detailed police officers, pending on how many people you were going to have in the building, the capacity. If the place hold 5,000 people, I think it was somewhere in the realms of about two off-duty police officers per 750 people. Sound kind of low to me of needing officers, but that was what their requirement was. And then for me, now I did this over in Newport, Kentucky, when I was doing the boxing thing in Newport, Covington, Newport, both areas. But then I also hired my private detail security. The guys that checked you in, Big Shane. I seen Big Shane log in. Big Shane was at the door. I had another 6-man staff that floated throughout the building, had the doors secured. And I had Big Shane winding everybody down for weapons. I don't like doing that, but it's necessary. It's not even a requirement. Now, I think if you serve alcohol and you own a club or something like that, a metal detector or some type of weapon detector might be a mandatory. I don't know. I've never owned a club. I've never sold alcohol and all that type of stuff to the public. So I don't know the rules and regulations for that type of stuff. But I know when I was having my functions, I had to meet guidelines, state guidelines. And I was well over $1,000 a night in security. And yes, we had a few fights, few arguments. Thank God we never had any shootings or anything like that. And just think about it, Cincinnati. I was doing one of the most violent things that you can do in the city. Boxing, combat sport. I'm sitting in there with all these dudes. I remember when Florida came in the city. Florida came in, and big little Dez had a fight. And he fought that dude. They were both undefeated, and they were fighting for a belt. I think it was an IBO, something like, I don't remember exactly what the sanctioned belt company was. But they put that belt on the line, and Dez and them, that fight was crazy. And we had Florida boys, looked like T-Pain, looked like Cheetah and all them over there. That's what they looked like in that corner, coming up from Florida. Looked like they was on go mode. And, then we had everybody. You had Adrian Broner and all the guys from the Cincinnati area. You had 2-5. Everybody was in the building. It got heated a little bit, but wasn't no drama. No guns came out. No guns came out. And we had several functions like that. We was packing them in the building, packing them in the building. And I'm just gonna tell you, I met all the state guidelines when it came to security and this and that. But security did not stop people from being who they was gonna be. It didn't stop a fight. Sorry, did music hall. I did the 100th boxing event at Music Hall. I know a lot of y'all don't know because there was a lot of people hating. There was a lot of people hating when I was put up when we did that thing at Music Hall. That's all right. They won't get me right there again. Same ones that was hating, they sitting on the couch today. They ain't doing shit. All right. Just remember, a little shade, but hey, I'm supposed to throw it like that sometime. It was enough shade and enough blows thrown at me at that time. Had a fight at Music Hall. Cincinnati police was there. It happens. It was outside, but it happens. It wasn't no gun shooting. It wasn't nothing crazy. Just a little guys, a couple little guys that had a little beef. It happens. But I just want to know, what do you want? I'm listening to people bitch and complain, excuse my language, complaining and bitching about they don't have enough police presence. And then there's a group of people in the natty that talks about how over policing, we don't need that many people, that many police around our people. So what is it? What do you want? I'd like to know. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. I feel real comfortable when the police at my events, and anybody that ain't throwing events, if you ain't never been in that position where you are liable for incident, or you got your money on the line, or your policies are on the line, your insurance policies are on the line, your livelihood is on the line. If you ain't never done no shit like that and put yourself on the line, please keep your comments to yourself. Your critiques of why people feel the way they feel. Please. Because we got too many people that don't do nothing but just talk about it. And then they got all the answers of how things supposed to really be done and how it's supposed to be. There should be about 6 police officers right there. There should be about 10 police officers. They don't really work that hard. That's crazy. I know. I'm just off on the edge. Let me get to what I'm talking about today. Let me ask y'all a question locally, another local thing out of Cincinnati. Thank you, Sabrina. Sabrina Calloway says, your events always had an air of class there. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Sabrina. I appreciate it. We always try to do our best. We always try to get the VIP right. We always try to get our seating and our pay-per-view and things of that nature. I may not have done the bigger shows in Cincinnati, and that, you cater to your crowd. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You give people what they're willing to pay for. I've never been an individual that wanted to give people what they weren't willing to pay for. And I learned that in business, that if you give people what you want them to have, you'll end up stuck with it. But when you give people what they really want, then they'll end up buying it. All right, they'll buy it if it's what they really want. So I've never been the type of person that was going to try to do a show in the city of Cincinnati and have $5,000 tables, because I know a $5,000 table is not going to sell in the city of Cincinnati. It's just not going to sell. That all being said, let me ask y'all a question. Oh, yeah. Damn, I know I shouldn't talk about this because this politics. This ain't a politics show, but I do want to say something about something. I heard something on the radio. I had time today. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't feel good, but I had time today. I'm sitting here drinking tea, by the way, to clear my sinuses. I'm in and out. I'm listening, and I hear a man say something to the nature of, well, let me see. Oh, yeah. I think Mr. Ware, the host, put the phone to the microphone, and he let everybody hear a lie that Trump said. A lie that Trump said. Never a lie that Biden said. Never a lie that RFK Jr. said. It's a lie that Trump said. And this is what I have a problem with. These are the things that I have a problem with. We're so convinced that one side is better than the other side that we only preach how dirty one side is. We don't keep shit 100. All right, that's what I got a problem with. You got a problem with me having a problem with it? I'm sorry about that. But at least let your bitching be honest. All right? Here's what I didn't like. When you put that microphone, when you put that phone to the microphone, you put something out in the air that when Trump said he picked Milwaukee. Now I got some brothers and sisters that live in Milwaukee. Some people that I grew up with live in Milwaukee. The Phelps family, Rogers, went to Milwaukee from Cincinnati and never came back. So Milwaukee must not be that bad. And then my brother David Ross lives in Milwaukee. Milwaukee must not be that bad. All right. So look, but we all know what Milwaukee is. Milwaukee is Milwaukee. Milwaukee, you will get your head busted. You will get your head cracked. But you can say that about Cincinnati now, can't you? So here's what y'all need to understand if you didn't really hear it. I'm going to bring you back to the start line, to the starting gate, and walk you through the whole misrepresentation of just how people represent lies and try to make them the truth so you'll believe something or see it some kind of way. Trump says something about Milwaukee had a crime situation going on. That is a fact. Okay, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Cincinnati, we all got crime going on. But certain cities are a little bit more aggressive in the crime situations. So this is what happened. Davis Denise said, tell it. You must have heard it, Davis Denise. You must have heard what I heard. He said, Big Nose Dave, love Milwaukee. That's my man. 100 grand. That's my man, Ross. Leave Dave alone. That's my man. He good people. He good people. But this is what I'm saying to you. You hold the phone up, and it's Trump talking about something, and you know who it is. It's CNN who's reporting it. So when you get the story from a network that lies or twist stories so they can make it seem like all their narratives are right on point, this is what you get. So he says, he puts the phone up, and it's Trump saying he loves Milwaukee. Milwaukee is nice. I mean, I guess you're supposed to pander. I guess you're supposed to say Milwaukee is good. He said, I picked Milwaukee. Now, I believe the guy was trying, not Trump, but I believe Mr. Ware was trying to make it sound like what CNN tried to make it sound like. They called Trump a liar because Trump just about 2-3 months ago, not 2 weeks ago, 2-3 months ago, Trump said Milwaukee is crime infested. Milwaukee is crime infested. It's under siege of crime. So now Trump turns around and said, I picked Milwaukee. So CNN is trying to make people think that Trump is retracting that statement. That's not what he was talking about when he said, I picked Milwaukee. The reason why he said I picked Milwaukee, they trying to say that he is the one that picked Milwaukee to do the RNC convention, which I don't understand why Republicans would want to do a convention in a Democrat city. I don't understand that. And then I wouldn't understand why Democrats would want to do a convention in a Republican city, which they're not. They're in Chicago. So why would the Republicans choose, and then maybe somebody can help me and tell me why they would do that. Why would the Republican Party hold their convention in a Democratic city? Maybe they're trying to let the Democrat people hear their message, bring a different wave in. I don't know. I don't even care. Strategically, it doesn't make sense to me. But what he was saying is, I chose Milwaukee to come talk to, like he did Detroit, like he's going to do in Chicago. He's saying, I chose Milwaukee. I told my people, I chose this place to come talk to. It's not, I chose this place to have the Republican conference. Show me where he said that. But yet what they did, they tried to make it sound like Davis Denise. I don't know. Did you get that out of that too? Did you get that out of that? See, that makes a person a liar. That makes that man a liar based on how you put it out there. You presented it like he said, I chose to do the RNC. And then they played the mayor of Milwaukee. And his ass is going to play right along with it. His ass is going to play right along with it because that's the playbook. The playbook is make this man a liar, and we're going to show you how he a liar. But I can't let you lie to my people talking about somebody else's lying. That would make me an accessory to your bullshit. Now you can call me capping for Trump or whatever you want to. That don't hurt my feelings when you say shit like that. It just kind of make me understand what you might be. Gunline boss. If you heard me lying to somebody intentionally to get to persuade them of something, and you don't say something about it, I don't know what to call you. I guess I would call you what you call the cop that's sitting with the racist white cop. If you a cop and you sitting next to a racist white cop and you don't report the racist white cop, that makes you a racist too, right? That's the logic in that. I've seen that. I've heard it before. I've heard that logic. So what does it make me if my people is listening to CNN and it's relaying to one of the networks in the city of Cincinnati and you relay that same bullshit to my folks? I would be an accessory to that bullshit if I don't correct it, if I don't say something about it. I'm just using your logic. Your logic is if you see something or hear something, report it. I'm reporting it. Anybody get any information on what's going on in Cincinnati with all those police cars? I'm assuming it's not a Reds home game parade. I'm assuming it's not a Juneteenth celebration parade going on over there with 40 police cars. Can somebody tell us? Because we might not see that story if the news don't get over there fast enough. They're not going to tell us all the things that's going on in our city. They just don't tell you. They pick and choose what they want you to know. Now, if it's something devastating where some cell phones captured the moments, you'll know about it because they don't have a choice but to tell you. But for everybody who said that the cops don't have a stressful job, those are the same people that don't understand what those cops do every day. They're not just pulling cats out of the damn trees. They're going on domestic calls. They're going on domestic violence calls. They're going into violent situations. And for somebody to say that that's not a stressful job, they probably never done the job, right? Just like the person who said jail ain't that bad. People wouldn't go back so much if jail was bad. It's too easy to go through jail. That's why people go back. See, that's the motherfucker ain't never been to jail. I ain't never heard nobody. I got plenty of my buddies. I'm not proud to say it. I say it a lot. I'm not proud to say it, but I'm not ashamed of me. I'm not ashamed of my buddies. I'm not ashamed of my friends. If they went to jail, it's because of their choices. Nobody's framed them. I ain't got one friend that's ever been framed. I don't have one friend that went to the penitentiary. He might not have said he did. Sometimes you get overcharged and you work the shit out in court. But I don't have one friend that didn't do what they charged him with. I don't have one. And every one of my stand-up brothers that have come home, and if I have a conversation with them, I'll look them square in the face and be like, you ready to get to work? And we got to have a real conversation. And that real conversation is, are you ready to learn this shit out here? Or you want to stay in them streets? And anybody that know me, and I got friends, and y'all know some of my friends, every one of my friends, or my buddies, if you want to call them that, every one of my buddies will tell you that I've done that with them. If they're ready. If they're not ready, we ain't having the conversation. I'm not wasting my time. But if they're ready, we had that conversation, and I'll put them in a position. If they're ready to do something. How many people can say that? I wonder if the person who said jail was easy is putting people in position not to go back to jail. Or they just they just like to make a blanket statement of jail must be easy because people keep going back. Come on, man. Come on, man. I heard another thing that was crazy to me that I like to bring a little light to. I'm not gonna holler about it. I'm gonna say it calmly and do it as quickly as I possibly can so I can move on to something else. Um, I heard somebody bitching and complaining about Black Wall Street. Another misinformed individual about Black Wall Street. Probably don't even know how it was formed, how the dollars were generated, who put the money up, how those businesses rotated dollars. Probably don't know any of that. And they're mad because a decision has come down that the descendants of the business owners, so to speak, we don't really know, but allegedly, the descendants of the business owners in Tulsa, Oklahoma, were refused reparations for what happened in Black Wall Street in 1920, 1920 21ish or something like that, to that nature. You know what I'm saying? With the burning down of Black Wall Street. Well, the reason why they weren't granted reparations is because Black Wall Street was rebuilt. It was rebuilt, and it was rebuilt by who? The same people that built it the first time. Black Wall Street district still exists in Tulsa, Oklahoma, whether we know it or not. It's just not as vibrant as it once was. You never hear about Tulsa, Oklahoma. You just never hear about it. It's a blueprint of what really should be. But we don't want to hear or look at the blueprint. We want to look at the destruction. The destruction is more important of the blueprint than the blueprint is. See, the blueprint is what every city should have, what we all should be doing in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion. And somebody asked, when they were talking that, this is that bullshit. That they need reparations because of what happened to their people and this and that. You don't even understand what exactly happened. You got the movie version, you got the CNN version, you got the clickbait version of what really happened at Black Wall Street. First of all, they rebuilt it bigger and better. What dollars did they use to do it? They didn't use city money, they didn't use state money, and they didn't get any grants or anything like that from the United States government. They did it the same way they did it when they built it the first time. Now, there were insurance claims and things of that nature that kicked in that helped rebuild the situation. So in a way, you would say, hey, reparations are not necessary in a situation like that. They reclaimed where they were. They made good on the disaster. They rebuilt it. Do I agree with all of it? Absolutely not. But I understand the argument. Now, what we got going on, I forgot what city it is. There's another city. Oh, Brandon Johnson in Chicago has now started the same shit that they got going on in California. We see his distraction now is to not talk about what problems he is overlooking in his own city. Now he wants to deflect everything to reparation commissions. That's the good way of putting himself, putting himself back in position with black folks, making it look like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line us up, and then they're gonna have this big number. They're gonna put this big number. We're gonna line ourselves up with $2 billion. And now what they got to do is they got to do the same thing Cincinnati did, and that is what we're gonna do is we're gonna hire a nonprofit organization firm. See, this is the play. This is the play. We're gonna hire this firm that's gonna get us the information. They hire these companies to do studies. Just like out in California right now, they got all these companies out there that did these studies. They pay $75,000 for this one, $200,000 for that one. I wonder who are those firms that they're paying that money to. And all they do is they come up with the conclusions of, okay, this is what happened and this is what happened. And there's never going to be a situation where they're going to sign off on those reparations in California because it's a play. It's a play. Somebody's getting paid at the beginning and nobody's going to get paid at the end. It's a play. And that's not gloom and doom coming from your man Wyatt. It's not. It's what they do. Let me ask another question. There's a video. I got a video for it. Has anybody heard of the new grocery store that's opening up? I couldn't get this one video that was posted. I couldn't get it. But there's a new grocery store opening up in the Cincinnati area. I believe it's in Claremont County, and it's called Grocery Store Outlet. Has anybody seen that on the news yet? Has anybody seen that on the news yet? Anybody seen it? Grocery Store Outlet. All right. Just in case you haven't, I'm going to play the clip. It was on the news this morning. People were outside out in Claremont County. Crystal Hawkins says, I heard it this morning. Thank you, Crystal. Yes. Let me tell you, let me give you an insight of this real fast. What's up, Justin Sharp? Shy? Another one of my Chicago brothers. Yes, full of those other people. Yes, absolutely. Kimberly. Sabrina says, yes, heard it today. Half price old shit. No, Roz, come on, bro. I explain it. You know, Roz gonna come in and say it the way he want to say it. It's cool though. It's called Grocery Store Outlet out in Eastgate. Yeah, that's Claremont County. You're right. You're right, DC. Me and my wife seen it when she had a doctor's appointment out in the Eastgate, out in Eastgate on Monday. Donnie Williams, what's up, bro? He said he on his way out there now. He going out there to get some of that dollar cereal. I don't blame you. Get some for nephew, bro. Let me explain to you what it is. It is a grocery store outlet. The reason why it's called an outlet is because what it is, it's overrun or like cereal, milk, cheese, whatever it is that they have that these stores can't either get they have overruns or they misshipped or whatever. It's like a dollar store. It's the same way dollar store get their stuff, okay, or Dollar General or things of that nature. But in this case, it is a grocery store. My question is, why haven't we gotten one of these damn stores in our community? That's the only question. We holler for dollar stores, we holler for Walgreens, we holler for all it. We want Kroger to come in our neighborhood. We feel like it's a discrimination if Kroger don't come into our neighborhood. They treating us bad because it's a food desert. My question is, why hasn't one of these grocery store outlets been into a neighborhood like ours, into a disenfranchised neighborhood? I just want to know why that hasn't happened. I watched the story this morning. I'm gonna play a story real fast, but the story that I seen, I couldn't find it. Nobody had it. It was the young lady did a live interview. I hate the sound. Well, look, family, we all cool, but I got to say this one. The white folks out in Claremont County, I know y'all gonna be tripping on me when I say this, but I got to say it the way it is. This is why I had the feelings that I have. He said, I'm gonna grab you some cheese. Get that for me, bro. Get the big pack. This is why I have a problem when people talk about how crazy or how gloom and doom and how poor black folks are. Because every time you talk about low income or you talk about affordable housing or when you're talking about some shit that's about money and it's oriented with you put it in with black people. All the time. It's always black people. Whenever they got programs going on and whenever Biden and them put in incentives for the poor people, you think he then did something for the black people. In fact, it is them. Them programs help more of them than it do us. Trust and believe. Did y'all see them people that they were talking to this morning on Channel 19 News? Did y'all see let me show you what it looked like. And this was a little bit earlier than the store opened. I want to show you this clip of what the line looked like out there. Man, I'm stumbling and fumbling today. Y'all got to bear with me. Outlet clip. Let me show you what. Now these are those privileged, excuse me. These are those privileged white folks that have America by the balls. Excuse my language. These are the rich white people of America. Because white privilege is a thing. They got everything. But this was them this morning at that damn store, at that outlet, that grocery outlet. Check it out. Oh yeah. And this is not even the one I wanted you to see. Look at all them rich ass white folks out there. Look at them. They can't wait to go in that damn outlet because you know why? Shit is tight. Shit is tight for everybody out here. We need some of that $1.99 cereal. Shit is tight out here. Thank you, Roz. Thank you, Roz. Food stamp city. And if I could play the video, I can't find the video that I want y'all to see. I can't find it. But when that lady interviewed that lady out there, and that white lady got on the camera and she was like, yeah, this is going to be good for us out here because it make our stamps stretch. It make our money stretch. Our stamps. I didn't even know people still got stamps. Maybe she meant EBT card. But she clearly said, this is what's going to make our stamps, this is going to make our stamps last. I said, damn, I called my wife and I was like, oh, you got to hear this shit. You got to hear this shit. Yeah, you got to hear this. Listen to what this lady said and look at the people that they showing. And it's people that are having a hard time and they don't look like us. This economy is whooping their ass in the head. Remember when I told y'all there's some schools, like them Lebanon schools, we talk about how bad CPS is? Oh, there's schools in the white neighborhoods. These are they're not CPS, but they're public schools. They going through the same thing our kids are going through. People don't want to admit that. They don't want to admit that. We too busy trying to make it seem like it's a thing and it's a race thing all the time. But these people going through it too, whether we want to admit it or not. And I'm just being honest with you. This classism thing is a real thing. This is the store. Let me show you the video. Check it out.
And we have seen this much excitement surrounding the opening of a grocery store.
I know. I saw the line that was outside that was forming. So we are talking about a new grocery store concept that's opening here in the tri-state, bringing jobs to help fight inflation.
And our Peyton Marshall's been live out there through the morning. So they've not opened yet, have they?
They have opened. In fact, we are inside. We are in what aisle are we in? We are in aisle 3. We're making our way through this whole store. And we're going to show you parts of it, but the line, as you guys saw earlier, it was so long, so they've been having to bring people in increments just to get everyone in. They have a DJ outside. They have, hold on, we're dealing with some cart traffic here, but I want to show you guys some of these deals that they talk about, right? Some of these discounts. Well, this is something that I personally noticed right here. The Fruity Pebbles. Those are $1.99 at a lot of grocery stores. Those are borderlining around $5. I know this because my mother always said no. It was a big treat if you got the Fruity Pebbles because those are such a higher in price. But I've been looking around trying to see what other prices you're going to find that's like that. So I wanted to know, how do they keep these prices so low? Well, when a brand has excess inventory from packaging changes or manufacturing overruns, what they do is they contact the grocery outlet, and the grocery outlet purchases the excess products for pennies on the dollar. That way, customers get the ultimate savings. In fact, Fox 19 last month compared grocery outlet prices from Youngstown to local Kroger stores. And what we found is Hamburger Helper costs $1.99 at Kroger compared to the 99 cents here at the grocery outlet. And you could get Smucker's Jam for $1.99 instead of the $4.99 at Kroger. So lots of deals. But in addition, these great stores, like you said, it's creating jobs. In fact, it's creating 30 jobs here in the community. And a celebration of this opening from now until July 18th, customers can enter to win $1,000 in groceries. So just another initiative to get people in these stores. In fact, if you were here earlier when people were just starting to come in, as you guys know, the first 100 got gift cards. So there was a lot of excitement, a lot of applause going around that. But again, that other gift card, those are up. So that's going to be through July, which we have all those details listed for you on our website and our free mobile news app. Reporting live here in Eastgate, I'm Peyton Marshall, Fox 19 Now.
Peyton, I'm going to need a price.
I know. this type of information is not for everybody. We'll find some reason why it's not going to work or it's some bullshit, and that's fine. My thing is, we don't have a problem with dollar stores hitting our community. We go to dollar stores, and then when they pull the dollar stores out, then we bitch and complain. We talking about expiration dates. You know, there's laws in the state of Ohio that these stores can't sell expired food to people. They can't sell expired food. Now, that don't mean that the expiration dates aren't closer to the end than it would be if you went to Kroger's and got it. Maybe there's 2 weeks to eat it versus if you go to Kroger's, you got 3 weeks to eat it or 4 weeks to eat it. I don't know. But my point is, with the economy being what it is today, stores like this help. But I also seen a story this morning, and you should have seen, if you could go to Channel 19 News on their website or wherever, if you can find it, I just can't find it. I seen the interview, I seen this, but I'm missing the interview that same young lady had with one of the people standing outside at 7 o'clock this morning. And those folks were standing outside like, hey, this is going to be good because it stretches my stamps. Now, I don't know what that means. I only know that to mean one thing for me. If my mama and them said it's stretching our stamps, I know what stamps she talking about. And if I can get a box of cereal instead of going to Kroger and spending $4.49 and get it for $1.99, that's damn near half. Some of you said they ain't got nothing but junk food. That's not true. They have a deli. They have meats and things of that nature. Go out, check it out before you criticize it. Just go check it out. Look it up on the internet. They even have a Facebook page. And what we need to do is sometimes you got to steal people's playbook. I just want to know, how is it something that can happen in a little bitty ass county, a little bitty city like Eastgate, or not a county, not a city, but Claremont County, and it not hit Cincinnati. Now, I've heard that it's a possibility that one of those stores will go in Northgate Mall. That's what I've been hearing. I made a phone call to some people, to the guys that own this particular store. They're super busy. I asked them if I could maybe come out and bring my camera and do what I do and bring some of the pricing and do what I want to do, maybe to entice their business a little bit. I don't know. But it's not really for them. It was for us. It's for us, the consumer, people out here. I want to know, how is it that how could we do that? And how could we bring it into an area that would be, centrally located in the city of Cincinnati, where we can all take advantages of that? Because I don't like shelf food anyway. I don't like food that can sit in my shelf for months, for a month. You know what I'm saying? I like I don't want some cereal that I got a month to eat. I got to get rid of it. I'm ready to move on. I don't want open box cereal in my closet for 2-3 weeks. Nah, that wouldn't last in my house anyway. So I don't have a problem getting something. Y'all know I'm that guy anyway. I still eat bologna sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly. So I'm simple. Maybe some of y'all bougie folks won't ride along with me on this one, but I don't have a problem with a 2-week or a week and a half expiration date to get rid of something. I don't have a problem buying something like that. That's just me. And maybe that's one of the things that you have to do, is you have a shorter expiration date on it. But from what they explained, sorry, I'm reading. So what they explained is that that those stores buy closeouts and they buy overruns. They own Twin. they own Twin. Kroger hey boy, Kroger got some comp. Yeah. I just want to know why we haven't really, and if it hits Colerain, maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe I'm talking out the side of my head. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But if Colerain Avenue gets one, maybe that'll be good for that area. I just know I'm not going to burn up $12, $20 worth of gas to go out and save $20 worth in groceries. I'm not going to do that, because Eastgate's pretty far from me. And it's probably pretty far for most Cincinnati folks. For most. Yeah, I heard some people. Yeah, I see that. I got somebody on X say something about those white folks. In a minute, because I said something yesterday's show. I said it's funny how they. I didn't want to say some things about Juneteenth because of some people that were saying some stuff on X, and I was holding it back. I didn't want to say anything. I don't want to mess up the Juneteenth celebration for everybody, including myself. I find it to be an informational day. There was a lot of stuff going on. Eastgate is a half an hour away from you. Yeah, yeah, that's common. Half an hour, unless you live in the city doing something in the city, a half an hour is pretty much what it takes to get anywhere you're trying to go. That's in the surrounding area. 30 minutes is nothing. Let me just say, about to say something, get everybody upset, especially DC. Listen, man, DC said Eastgate is a half an hour away from us. That sound far, don't it? Only people, not person. Only people that a bitch about a half an hour drive is Cincinnati people. You ain't never lived nowhere else. Because you go to Atlanta. You can't go to the damn grocery store and not be there in an hour. Go to California, go to Los Angeles. Everything take you forever to get there. Because number one, it might be further away. Number two, it don't even have to be further away. The traffic is crazy. Traffic is crazy most places. So when I live in Cincinnati and I hear people say things like, man, that shit is far away, man. That's like a 20-minute drive. I be like, what? Yeah, man, it take us forever. Man, it take us forever to get over the town. It take us forever to get downtown. Where you live? But I'm in Avondale. That's 15, 20 minutes. That's a 15, 20-minute drive. I know, man. Shit. We so spoiled. We so spoiled. We live next to everything. And then the traffic's not bad in Cincinnati. But everybody in Cincinnati, y'all bitch too much about how long it take you to get somewhere. DC, I'm not referencing you as bitching of the 30-minute drive. I'm just saying that 30 minutes to get where you need to go in Cincinnati is pretty much that's kind of common. Unless you're going from Avondale to Walnut Hills, like 10 minutes, that's how everybody used to traveling. Man, shit, I'm about to go on over here to Walnut Hills. Oh yeah, okay. You could damn near walk the Walnut Hills from Avondale. I used to do it. Well, it was the other way around. I would walk from Walnut Hills to Avondale. And we be bitching about the smallest shit. And I'm like, bro, go to Atlanta. I got a buddy of mine that's in the real estate game, okay? He's a realtor. He sell homes. We all know that's what that is. I just, talking. But anyway, he said, hey, Wyatt, man, shit. In Cincinnati, I could show 5 houses a day. You'll kill their ass in Cincinnati. I can show 5 houses a day. You know how many houses he can show in Atlanta a day? 1. Unless you're in some type of complex where you're showing like a home that's in a gated community and you get lucky as an agent and there's 2 or 3 houses in that gated community that's for sale, that's in the same price range, that's with the same square footage, everything's pretty much the same, and your client wants to see something like that. Now you have 3 homes in that one vicinity that makes it easier for you to show 3 houses. But for the most part in Atlanta, shit. If you showing a house in College Park, you ain't gonna show one for the rest of the day if you got to go somewhere else. Because it take too long, you'll be out of, you'll show one in the morning. And you wouldn't be able to show another one until about 3 o'clock. Your first showing is at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Your next showing, you better schedule it for 5. Because it's going to take you 2-3 hours to get wherever you going. I know that sound crazy, but that sound crazy to people who got a problem with a 30-minute drive somewhere. So as a real estate agent, you just better. I love College Park too. My partner live in College Park. One of my buddies live in College Park. That's why I said College Park. I can always shout out to College Park. But you're not going to show many houses as an agent in Atlanta. It's kind of slow. Because you're talking about 2 hours in between each showing. Anybody trying to do that? But that's how it is. So 30 minutes to get where you're going is nothing. It's nothing. So you basically have an hour of road time coming and going. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. All right, so let me move on from that. I ain't really got much else to say about it. I don't have much to say at all today anyway. But I will say this. I will bring this back up. Yesterday, somebody hit me up on the X platform and was like, it's funny. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it how they said it. But they said it's kind of funny how some people are always bitching and complaining about the white man. And it's funny how the white man seems to be their problem with everything. That's what they say. And I'm trying to understand what why you feel that way. What's going on? And Donna says 30 minutes is long for me. That's because you live in Cincinnati. Donna, stop. Stop. 30 minutes is nothing. Shit. And y'all should think it's nothing by now because I've been home. I've been in Cincinnati. I've been back in Cincinnati pretty much full time for 30 years. And they didn't have yellow cones and freaking them orange cones and construction going on the expressways and on the streets for 30 years. I'm wondering when the shit gonna be over. I have not been on the expressway in 30 years of being back in Cincinnati and haven't seen some type of construction on the streets, on the expressway. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but damn, they do construction every year, all year round. It's been 30 years. I'm thinking that construction is the new hustle because you know what it is? It's tax dollars is paying for it. You got to use that money. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. It's the same reason why Kwame Brown got in trouble. Or what's his name? What was the mayor's name up in Detroit? What was the mayor's name? Wasn't it Kwame Brown? Or was that the basketball player? What was Kwame's last name? What was that guy? What was his name? Carolyn Smith said it is the new hustle. I know it's been a hustle for a long time. The Detroit mayor, Kwame Kirkpatrick. Thank you, AK-47. I said Kwame Brown. I think he was a first round pick in the NBA draft back in the day. I'm sorry about that. Kwame Kilpatrick. Yeah, he got in trouble for that same hustle. Yeah. He had his uncles and his cousin and all of them owned a concrete company. So what they did in Detroit is they would get the contracts. He would, as the mayor of Detroit, this is what he went to jail for, and some other things. He would hire his own relatives, the same shit that they doing in Chicago. That's why you got a $10,000 a week nurse. But anyway, politics pay. That's all I can politics pay, bro. Shit, if I had to do all over again, I'd definitely be a politician. If I did it all, if I was a different person, had a different mentality with the same level of intelligence of understanding, I think I would get in. I think I would get into the politics. It's an easy out game. In other words, you either you like me or you either love me or hate me. It's an easy in and out. If the people love you, you get away with everything. If people love you and you talk and you pander to them and you say all the right shit that they need to hear, not necessarily what's right or what's wrong, but what they need to hear. You say enough shit of what they need to hear, you will be heaven on earth for those folks. If you make them feel like the reason why they cut their light switch on and the light came on and it was because of you, shit, you God on earth. The reason why you woke up this morning and the sky was blue because of that politician, shit, you God on earth. I'm just telling you, some people have that kind of strength of belief in their politicians. They don't even see when they getting played. They don't even know that they really the ones getting politicked. They really think these politicians are out for their best good. And here's the crazy thing about it. All of them use fear tactic. And the first one that holler is usually the first one that's getting $1 about that same fear tactic. Here's what I don't understand. Somebody help me understand this one. I'm not going to say I'm right. I'm not going to say I'm wrong. I'm going to say this is what I don't understand. Is it a fear tactic when you tell your people, your constituents, what somebody's going to do if they win the office? But you don't know for a fact they're going to do it. You just telling everybody what somebody going to do if they win. If he win, the world is going to go upside down. We're going to be at the bottom where China is, and China going to be at the top of where we are. We're going to have a dictator. We're going to have this. Is that not fear-mongering? It sounds fearful to me. You got one side telling you what's going to happen. They're selling you the fear. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You got one side that's selling you fear. They both selling fear. Let's clear that. Let's make that clear now. You got one side that's selling you fear of if this man get in office, the world will never be the same. The United States will never be the same. And then you got one side selling fear, saying the world is not the same because of what's going on right now. Because of the immigrants, because of the price of eggs, because of the price of gas, because of because of the current situations, not what it's going to be, but what it is like right now, what you're facing right now, needing more of these grocery store outlets, needing more tax breaks, needing better situations for ourselves, making it affordable for people to buy a home, not rent property. Everybody don't want to rent. But right now, even people that can afford a home know better not to buy a home. It's just not set up for you. It's not set up right. So they both fear-mongering, but one side is fear-mongering on the possibility of somebody doing something. This is what's going to happen, maybe. And the other is fear-mongering of what's going on right now. Be careful of those migrants. They're taking your jobs. That's fear-mongering on both sides. However, what's more realistic? I mean, what's real? Something that's currently happening right now or something that's potentially can happen? Which one would you pay more attention to? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I like your opinion. Which one is more realistic to happen? A current situation or a possibility? I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that one tonight. Yeah, somebody asked me. I was saying something about. Let me get the phone lines, and then I'll tell you what somebody was telling me on X. Hold on one second. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hold on, caller. My apologies. Let me see if I. Okay, there you go. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
The twin, man.
Hey, twin. What's going on with you, brother?
Man, it's hotter than two fat little women out here, man.
You got on your corduroys today?
Hell no, I don't wear that stuff. I just got out one time. I'm about to go to Kroger now.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'll stick myself in that freezer for a minute.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question, man. Then you can get to what you got to get to. Are the people, are the employees, are the staff members, are the executives over at Kroger, are y'all shaking in y'all boots because of this new grocery store outlet?
No, they ain't shaking that boot. That probably some that probably Kroger's little stash spot type.
Okay.
You know, had the other taxes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Incentives and stuff. You know how they helped out with that when they passed that weed law and everything for dispensary, and you could smoke marijuana. Kroger's had their thing up in there. They had their hand up in there, and with that COVID shit. All of them had times with all that mess. They just don't want to tell people, but they had their hand in there. So COVID, that probably was a tax write-off for COVID and shit. You know how they donate every year to the Salvation Army or the Children's Home or something. They ain't nothing but a tax. That might be one of their stats, so I don't put it past nobody, man.
So you think they're buying? You think they're buying some? You think they're getting some of the product from Kroger?
Yeah, they probably get some of it, but ain't nothing but if it is, ain't nothing but a damn barcode didn't go through right or something like that. That ain't number. They call it damaged property or whatever, but it's something that hey, we ain't gonna use this. We'll go with the new batch, the new color.
Oh, okay.
Send that old color out and all that, and we get this new graphic coming out.
Okay,
that's all that is, man.
That makes
so
sense.
you buy about a bulk.
Yeah.
Just like if I was at a wholesale or whatever, I want to buy about a bulk and whatever. I get it. You got it for $300. How much you pay for that? I got it for $1,000. Oh, I'm going over there get it for the $300 then.
Right.
Shit, I can make my money back. $300. I'm gonna stretch it to $1,500. I'm back home now. That's how they doing it, man. When they say bars, that's how they doing it. So they ain't nothing but a old player pimping stuff they got going on. They ain't fooling nobody.
Okay.
And everything.
All right.
Why?
What's on your mind, though,
back and forth. You got one person, immigrants, the other one said they ain't gonna do nothing for you. Why? Yesterday was a good day, man. Like Dr. Dre said. Ice Cube. Damn right was a good day. One of them said.
Okay.
Man, yesterday was a good day because I say this. In Zone 15, which people in Cincinnati scared to, ride through, or they ain't going through there because they feel like it's a bad area. Man, I rode through there, and plus I seen my little niece on the Facebook or whatever. I can't say old school Orlando did a good thing with that, putting that thing together, man, with them kids. They was singing to the beat. It wasn't no nigga I'll kill you type stuff, and you know how them kids are, man.
Yeah, but Lando ain't gonna put his name on nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? Lando's
he was. I know, but he was there though.
No. What I'm saying is he's not gonna put his name and reputation on something that's gonna splatter out to the kids as being negative. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna let the DJ play all that bull crap and that danger music. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah. I'll see you on that. But I'm saying, you know how people say these kids can't come together, they can't do this and all that. If you look on there, I probably sent it to you or not. But if you look on there, them kids was like love, man. It's like, dang, we missing this. I can see on their eyes, and plus I rolled past there, and a couple of people know me and stuff through my family members of going to school, my little nieces and nephews. But it was all love, man. The way I saw it when I rolled past there, and when I seen it on the video. And some people, all these badass kids and all that, all it take was just love. Just showing these people how we can come together as one, man. That's all we need is just love. All this animosity against hate and all that is out the door. And them white folks want to keep us like that towards each other, jealousy and all that. Just because you got on that Gucci and all that, I don't like that Gucci. I want Fucci and whatever, or whatever else on there. But to each his own, just jealous. But I can't. It was all love just by looking at it.
But twin, I think we already know that the knuckleheads. It's a small percentage of them. We all know that. We all know.
Yeah, out of 10, 2 of them go mess up.
Absolutely, I give you that. Out of 10,
yeah.
You're gonna get 2 or 3. That's probably you're gonna have. It only take 2. It only take 1 or 2 to mess up. The situation.
Well, that's mandatory, right? You know how it is. You've been around the players and everything. You gonna be good, nigga. You gonna be good. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna be on that dumb stuff. 2 hours later, you get that do it foot up in him. I knew you want to go act right, nigga. You all man, because you had faith in your boy that he was going to be all right. But he got that one do it foot, that peel up there. Now he acting a donkey out here. I said, I knew. I can't never take you nowhere. So that's how it is, Wyatt. You only go have one good. You always have that little dumb, stupid nigga that's just be on dummy for no reason, man.
Yeah, well, we always going to. And I hate saying always because I'm optimistic. I think that things can change. One of the things I don't really like to hear from people is how it's always going to be that way just because that's the way it is. I don't like that type of terminology because if that's the case, all of us that came out of the hood, we supposed to be in a jail cell right now because the majority of my friends, majority of us, we didn't hit some type of criminal activity and, that means we should have stayed there. There was an opportunity for us to bounce out of it and not be involved in all the stuff that was in the streets. And something had to change us. So if you could change, twin, why can't other people change? And if other people change, then it don't have to be the way that it is.
But if you're encouraging people like, man, don't go there right. You know we was a shorty, man. We did things. Why you got to be goofy all the time? And some people, they love that attention of that institutionalized mentality or whatever.
Well, the first thing we got to do is we got to stop. I said the first thing, in my opinion, that we have to do is stop making that type of behavior cool. We have to make it. We have to stop making things that are self-inflicting wounds to us. We got to stop making it cool. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'll just use one of the things, bro, in the gang banging. Like I don't like gang banging. I don't like nothing about it. Just because I understand it, don't mean that I vouch for it. But what we got to stop doing is we got to stop getting guys that recruit gang members and future gang. Because I ain't never seen somebody get recruited into a gang at 40 years old. It's always been 14 or younger. That's always I've seen. You ever seen a 35-year-old man get recruited by the gang?
If he doing that, he just a goofy.
Well, maybe because he came out the penitentiary. He might have got recruited when he got to the penitentiary because he needed protection. Because that's what the move is. You either get in a gang, go see Allah, or you gonna be a girl. That's the only choice you have. Or you just mind your business. You can mind your business and survive. But the truth of the matter is, some people do get in gangs at a later age, maybe 22, 23 years old, 24, 25 at the max, because when they get sentenced, they go in and they need some protection. But, that's not everywhere. That's in certain areas.
Right.
I've never seen a 40-year-old gang member, a rookie. I ain't never seen a rookie 40-year-old gang member. I've just never seen that.
No, not in mine. I ain't never seen it either.
So what we got to do, Twin, is we got to get brothers like you to get to these shorties, and we got to make this gang shit like you and Rufus get together, and y'all is Chicago Connect. Y'all got to get these young folks to understand that this gang shit ain't cool. But you got to work on it in some other cities where it's a little bit more gang infested. You see what I'm saying? Because people don't go to gangs because they think it's cool, because they only go into that because they think the shit is cool and they think that's the only way.
Yeah, but I've been trying to hook up with him, man. Stop being so busy, man. I've been trying to hook up on since I had shorty and his other job has just been so busy. I want to hook up because we can affiliate or whatever. We can go off each other and everything. Him coming from the west side and everything, where the land of the Lords, and me coming on the south side and stuff, where the gangsters started at. So I can relate, he can relate, and we know history or whatever. We can bounce off each other and feed to these little knuckleheads down here and let them know, man, the penitentiary ain't the way.
It sure is.
That's the wrong thing, because you can't, man. I swear to God, Wyatt, waking up every morning to that white man tell you jail time and all that, cooking for the other inmates and everything else, man, that stuff was gay to me, man. I wasn't with that. I wasn't feeling that. I was counting down and everything. I was playing like I was on the street in the joint for real, because you get depressed in there, Wyatt. Seeing other niggas go home and you got to go right back to your cell, look at that ceiling, man, and think about home and everything. And I got tired of that. Why? I don't know why. I know another guys I know growing up that's my brother, age 50 or something. They coming off 6, 7 beers. Why? And I'm looking like, man, what y'all like, the booty or the nigga? Which one? I say, ain't no way. And then I'm in here, so I was here for a dope case. So I get out my goofy butt, I Google these niggas. I said, this nigga here for tree jumping, touching a damn baby. This nigga here for robbing a 6-year-old man. I say, these bum fucking ass niggas, man. But they been gone since St. Charles is another head busted baby juvenile joint and stuff. I'm glad I ain't never make it there. That's baby penitentiary all the way, I heard. But they come from St. Charles all the way to the joint. So they institutionalized all the way from 13 all the way up. So some of them had 21 when I was there. They don't get out to 21. So they started from like 14 or 13. And I said, what you do, Robert? They had like a 10-year bid. I said, why you didn't get out when you like 18? They bound me over to grand jury and everything. So I got to do to 21. I said, wow. So they still on goofy and everything. I'm like, man, these cats here. But why? One more thing before I go.
Okay.
Do you agree with Tennessee State of Tennessee? Do you agree? I seen it yesterday that it's okay for them to pass that law. If you tree jump, molest somebody or whatever, child anything, give you the death penalty.
Do I agree with it?
Do you agree with that law they coming out with or trying to pass? State of Tennessee.
Well, I'm critical on the death penalty in the first place. But now let me just say this to you. Let me just say this. I'm for the death penalty, but I'm critical on it. And the reason why is because, yes, there's probably some innocent people on death row, just like there's some innocent people in there on other crimes. And there's a whole lot of guilty people out here walking around, too. Okay, it worked both ways. You got a lot of people that always holler for the innocent guy who's in jail, but they ain't saying shit about all the guilty people out here that's victimizing people. The argument is just ridiculous, but it is what it is. However, I think it's a huge deterrent. But if it's abused, if that is abused, it can be a problem. All right. And what I mean by that is it really going to stop a child molester from victimizing a child? I don't think laws and preventative measures actually work. Because if that was the case, the penitentiaries wouldn't be so full.
Exactly.
And then when you get somebody, if you get somebody under a child molestation charge or something of that nature, and they're found guilty, and then they go to death row, I mean, you know, there's too many things that can catch somebody up that might be innocent. Now, we're talking child molestation. There's a lot of things that could make that person guilty when they may not be. And I'm not that type of a defense guy that just try to look for a reason for somebody to be innocent. But when you put a death penalty on something that could, you know, have reasonable doubt because maybe a baby mama or somebody then did something, said something, and you know, and kind of, you know, turns you into a villain, you know, that, bro, that could be a problem. And then you sitting on death row because your baby mama then sets you up with something. Or I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I can't really answer that.
But if all the evidence is sitting on the table and everything, and you touch that child and she bleeding or messed up her wound or he messed up him, whatever, I feel like this. Hell yeah. Put him in that chair, whatever they lethal injection. And just like these crazy women, and so some of these women ain't crazy, they do this stuff out of spite. Want to burn their kids and smack them across the head. Them the ones should be definitely on death penalty, man. Death row or whatever. Because some of them people, man, is premeditated, man. Just because that baby dad ain't with you or that girl ain't with you, y'all want to abuse that child. And I've seen it happen. You look just like your mom. You look just like I can't stand you. Come on, man. I had a relative used to do that. And I caught her and checked that. Listen here, bitch. Keep your motherfucking hands off my feet. I checked her out, smacked the fuck out of her. No, you ain't gonna do this because the dead ain't there. Bitch, you got me fucked up. And shit.
All right, twin.
No, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that.
Twin,
no, my soul, man. That's how I am, man. Don't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. You having one of them episodes that I was telling you about, bro. I told you we was working on chapter 40 when you called today. We just concluded.
Y'all passed you. We on 47. Yeah.
All right, twin. I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, man.
Listen to me, brother. All right, brother. Talk to you. Boy, once you hit that gas on twin, it's all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes with twin, boy. When he get there, it's 10 and let's go. Vroom. You know, hey, I'm all about letting people say what they want to say. But now let me say this. Well, Wyatt is canceled. Nice knowing you, bro. Let this be the last picture of Wyatt live. It's been real. Anyway, I hear you, DC. But listen, man, let me just say one thing. Turning the corners on two wheels. Yeah. No, but let me say something about the death penalty. I do believe in the death penalty. However, for the people that used to say things, I don't know exactly who it was or whatever, but I remember hearing ringings in the air of shit about how could you believe in the death penalty but not believe in abortion? You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm wrong for bringing this up or correlating the two, but I think they belong in the same category. I am pro-choice, just to let you guys know. I'm pro-choice. There are people that are pro-life. I understand both sides. I am not mad at pro-life individuals. I am not mad at pro-choice and pro-life. I'm not mad at either one of them. I tend to have my own mind and I tend to be an independent in a whole lot of different matters. Okay, a whole lot of different subjects. I hope you're not mad at me because I'm an independent on pro-choice and pro-life. I hope you're not mad at me for that. However, if you are, oh well. But now let me just say this about that. The reason why I understand pro-life is because I get it. I get it. They have this thing about they think you're punishing the child. You know, they also have an understanding that you can do something to prevent doing something to a child, an unborn child. They have this thing called protection. They have this thing. And I know, what about rape and incest? Well, if it was a larger percentage of that happening and that was the reason why abortions was happening, then maybe I would have a different argument. But it's such a small, minute point that I can't use that as an argument. But now let me explain something to you where I understand about pro-choice. Some people who are pro-life, who believe you don't kill a baby, some of them believe in the death penalty. And some people will be like, wait a minute, that's ass backwards. And now you think you got them pinched up in a corner. You think that that's a contradiction. It's really not a contradiction in my mind, and I know it's not one in their minds either. The reason why I say it's not a contradiction is this. Okay, you believe in killing somebody for what they did here to victimize someone. You believe that they could be murdered or killed, but yet you don't want babies murdered. You don't want babies killed. You think that's wrong. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It seems like an oxymoron. It seems like, it don't sound right. Well, for me, I say it sounds right. I get it. Why, Wyatt? Because the unborn child never had a chance to be something, do something, commit a crime, victimize anybody, be the president of the United States, be the CEO of a company, be an astronaut, be a dentist. They didn't have an opportunity. Now, the person that committed a vicious crime that led them on death row had everything in the world in front of them. Now, whether they had a bad card hand or whatever, they still had an opportunity of life and to maybe do something and be something. And they chose to do something that can get them on death row. But at least they had a chance. Some people might not agree with that. Some people, everybody think that. I heard this on this show. Somebody they wrote it down in the comment section. Some people are just born losers. Some people are just born. Now, I know this is going to be some AI shit. Somebody going to snip this and clip this and say that Wyatt said. Some people are just born losers. Some people are just born to just be shit people. That's going to be on that thing. Is how they doing things these days. That's what they're going to say I said. But for the record, I argue that. I argue against that. I don't think that everybody is dealt a bad hand. You could be dealt a bad hand. I see poker hands that are bad that win all the time. You just got to know how to play your hand. You got to know how to play the hand that you dealt. However, I will say this. Some people are born with an easier path. Some people are born with an easier path than others. We all know that. That's just a fact. But we all born with an opportunity. And we pick and choose what we gonna do. Some of us grew up in some real bad situations. I keep trying to tell y'all. We know right from wrong. Most kids that's out here getting in trouble, they not doing it by themselves. They doing it with a group of guys, a group of people. They body slamming people together. They doing all that shit together. It's a group thing. It's a all right, let's go get it. Let's do this because that's how it was for us. I ain't never wake up one day and walk through Laura Homes or walk through the Fay Apartments and say, what kind of shit am I gonna get into today? I always had to go get Big Chili. I always had to go get my partners. And we schemed up on the shit together. What we gonna do today? Let's go to Westwood and steal some bikes from the white boys. I want to build me a new bike. And we go to Westwood and steal us some mongooses. Take their bikes off their porch and take them back to the Fay and strip those bikes. I send the 5-star rims down on Sunny Hill. I take the frame over on Williamsburg, and they'll be building a bike. Y'all know, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But I never woke up one day and said, I'm about to go steal some bikes. I had to go get my partners. Or they was coming to get me, and what we getting into today? Shit, we about to hit a lick. It's usually a group activity. So we all born with choices. The only thing that I'll say about our choices is now we're older, myself included, we understand now that the choices that we make early, which you don't understand this when you're a young person, but the choices that we make early in our life, what we don't understand is that our grandkids end up paying for those choices. Not just our kids, our grandkids. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. This type of shit is a trickle down effect. It ain't just you getting in trouble. It's your kids gonna be in trouble, and then your kids gonna teach your kid, they kids, the trouble. It's a trickle down effect. Let me let you hear what this preacher said. Tell me if you agree with this. Tell me if you agree with this. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Roz or Donna. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tell me if you agree with this. Check it out.
We got young women growing up in church, bringing home knuckleheads who don't know Jesus from the man in the moon. And fathers who are all right with it if he's good on the ball field and got money in his billfold. Because we have also devalued manhood, devalued masculinity, devalued real biblical male headship. And our grandchildren pay the price for it. Because they're not being raised by godly, spiritual men, but by boys who can't put away boyish games.
Sound about right. Sound about right. That don't have a color on it, by the way. That don't have a color on it, by the way, but if the shoe fit, then wear it. The truth of the matter is, our men have gotten away from being men. That's why our women are raising our kids, and our kids are being raised by women, and they have emotional ways. And you see what's going on. You see what's happening. You see all the fighting that's going on. Even back in the day when everybody was like, but back in the day, there was crime. People was fighting. Yeah, that's because back in the day, it was mamas raising them. I know mamas get mad at me when I say that stuff. I understand. I get it. That's when it all started. Oh, well, crime started when single motherhood came around. Yeah, I'm kind of, sort of. Yeah. The breakup of the family had a whole lot to do with what we used to get into. If you ever had a daddy in your life and stuff like that, you always know that you got what did mamas always say? Mamas, well, I don't know because I wasn't that guy, but I remember watching little shows like the Cosby Show and other little shows that kind of taught me what it looks like with a father in the house. Not a mama boyfriend and shit like that. Not a motherfucker that don't really give a fuck about me. I'm just part of the package. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about that. But what do real mothers that got a husband or got a man, the father's in the house, what do they always say when you get in some trouble? You're going to have to deal with your daddy on that. Your father you're gonna have to deal with your father. Now I know there's gonna be some people that go against the grain and say, well, my mother and my father was together. My mama handled all the discipline. That's probably the reason why you are who you are today and the shit you going through. Thank you, Kimberly. Wait till your daddy get home. I probably would have been a much better man if I would have ever heard that. I'm just honest and open about it. I might not have been out stealing mongoose bikes. I might not have been out stealing shopping bags at Shilla Toes to sell them down at the market. I might not have been doing that type of shit. And I'm just a low level guy when it came down to doing some bad shit. I'm telling you. Donnie, stop. I've already admitted to that. Donnie said me and Wyatt used to steal wick. He ain't lying. but I'm not proud of it. I told him I did it one time and I didn't feel good about it. I had that stiff in my shit. My stomach was like, I know this ain't right. I know what I did wasn't right. Because it was probably some old lady or it was some lady that had 4 or 5 kids and we stealing her milk and cheese and all that old shit. Donnie, you know that ain't right. You know that ain't right. And if I had a daddy in my life, he probably would have told my ass, take that shit back. I'm going to whoop your ass. Listen. But see, as much as we don't like to admit that, y'all know it to be true. Y'all know it to be true. And it's a hard thing. It's a hard pill to swallow. I tell you what, I'm going to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm thinking about doing a debate show on Wyatt Live. I'm trying to see if it's going to work out with my schedule. I'll be able to let you guys know probably by tomorrow or Monday, because the debate is next week, I believe. So I want to try to tell everybody in time so we can set our schedules. You know what I'm saying? So we'll know if we're going to be here or not to do it. But I don't know how that debate shit going to work out. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. I just don't see how it's going to work out. And I don't want to be on here on some comedy relief shit. I don't want to be here watching the debate and it's just, not making sense to half of us and it's making sense to the other half. And then we just tripping, it's getting us nowhere. I think I would rather watch it and then give you my take on it. But to sit here, I've done one of those debate shows before and I just listened to a whole bunch of nothing. And it was a waste of my time and I just didn't feel comfortable because I got other shit I could be doing with my time. And I'm just going to be honest with you, man. Like, I don't see it being any different than it was years ago when those debates were going on. Other than the fact that they're going to have the mics cut off in between the other guy talking. They're not going to be able to do what they used to do. All I'm going to hear is a bunch of bullshit. And I know I'm going to hear that. And I really don't like dealing with stuff like that. I just don't like it. I don't, because what happens is you're going to have people that's going to have oppositional thoughts. And when you don't see eye to eye with people, then the insults come. I just don't really have time for that. I hear shots that go at me. I read shots. I hear shots. And the reason why I don't respond is because I don't have to. The things that I say, I stick on what I say. I feel the way I feel. And if I need to be corrected, I will come and correct myself. However, I don't respond to shots that's fired at me or reference to somehow I feel. Because I am who I am because of how I do things and how I feel about things. I execute my game plans. My game plans have a lot to do with my personality. My personality I share with you every day on Wyatt Live. So you should know that I don't have an argumentative personality. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to tell you what I say and then I'm going to leave it right there. Maybe in a year you'll get it. Maybe in 2 years it'll come to pass and you'll understand why I said what I said. Can anybody say that I've been jacking things off since the day we started March of 2000? Can anybody say that I said some things we're going to have? Look at your credit card bills. Didn't I tell you gas will never be low again? Didn't I tell you that your credit card? I said there's going to be a world of I said our country is going to fall in so much debt based on some things. I said, what is it? Bankruptcy will be at an all-time high. I said you'll have companies that are shutting down and bankruptcy will be at an all-time high. It's coming. The bankruptcy thing hasn't happened yet, but the outstanding credit card bills and outstanding credit cards, things of that type of stuff, all that stuff is adding up. And eventually when things settle down and come down and get right, bankruptcy is going to be off the chart. Nobody believed me when I said that, and that's okay because that's the one thing that I said that hasn't happened yet. Everything else has pretty much been in place. Oh, I remember. I'm a very patient man. That's one of the attributes that I do have as a man is I'm patient. Donnie said that was the choices we made when we were young, but look at us now. No records, never been in jail. Right. Because them choices should be a temporary choice. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude that ran with me. We ran together. We all knew, everybody used to do what they used to do back in the day. But that's not an excuse. We need to stop saying what we did back in the day and converting that over to understanding why kids do what they do today. No, because if we had people in our house to stop us from doing that shit, we wouldn't have these stories to tell. I didn't have anybody to stop me from doing that stuff. So we got to stop using the fact that we used to do it as an excuse. It's like my daddy. It's like my father used to go to jail all the time. My real blood, my real father would go to jail all the time. So if I was a jailbird, everybody would be like, well, shit, Sparks went to jail all the time. It don't matter. Look at his son. It becomes normal. You know how many people I grew up with that went to jail and then they would call me to get their kids out of jail? It's not a fucking, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked when they call me and say, hey, Wyatt, I need your help. That don't shock me. The apples don't fall far from the tree. Yeah, he was. That's why I didn't run with Donnie Dominique. She said, why? You said Donnie was always the one that's falling, was the one that fell when y'all was running. Yeah, that's why we didn't go nowhere. If we had to run, Donnie, nah, I'm just playing. That's my brother. I'm just messing with you. Don't do that, because if you start, he gonna start. I'm gonna leave Donnie out of my conversations when it come down to, I'm gonna leave him out of it. Anyway, this is what we're gonna talk about tomorrow. Somebody hit me up on X and was like, look at all the people at the Juneteenth celebrations across the country that are politicians and that are black. And all they do is holler all that black shit. Black this, black that, black this, black that. The white man, the white man, the white man. I said, well, what do you mean? I said, what are you talking about? And they said, listen, you got all these politicians running around here talking about white people ain't shit, white people ain't this. Y'all know how I am. I don't like that type of rhetoric. I don't like that. I don't go for it. It's some dumb shit. And if you feel like somebody holding you back, it's your fault. Sorry. Hate me if you want to. All right. But now let me explain something. There was a point that was made, and I start saying, you have to bring some receipts. You have to tell me who you talking about. What people are you talking about who always talking about white men ain't shit, and they politicians? And then I did some research. And I said, well, I'll be damned. And I said, there's podcasters, young people, who think totally different than these old heads that's been talking the same shit for 20, 30, maybe 40, 50 years. These young kids are talking totally different when it comes to this race relationship. You got a few still Black Lives Matter type folks. You still got a lot of them. You got a few. Because, they've been told a few things. They still don't know that Black Lives Matter wasn't really an organization, but that's okay. However, they wanted my answer. They wanted me to answer. Oh, yeah. That's going down. You know why that's happening, don't you? Davis Denise said, breaking news. FBI agents raid the home of Oakland Mayor Xing Thao. That's that lady out there. Come on, man. You know what they doing. You mean to tell me that you got all these businesses shutting down in your district? You got all this money that's leaving your area, and you ain't doing nothing policy-wise to change that effort? You're not doing anything? That means you getting paid. You're selling your people out. You're selling your district out. That's all I'll say about that until I get more information. Davis Denise, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know how those folks use their constituents to get their money up, sell the areas out. The schools are bad. Schools bad. School districts. The whole freaking. It's always the white man. And you know what? Here's the thing, Davis Denise. I want you to watch this. Check this out. I dedicate this one to my sister, Davis Denise. I dedicate this video to you. Don't get mad. It ain't you, but I dedicate this message to you. Check it. The guy on X asked me, these politicians is always talking and selling to our people how the white man is evil. I hear it on the radio all the time. The white man evil. But what I don't understand is the politicians that teach our people or preach to our people how bad the white man is always end up being married to one. If you don't believe me, watch this clip right here. This is what the young people are looking at these days. Not me. I'm just bringing you what the young people talking about. Check it out.
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men.
So we already got Don Lemon making these comments about white people, married to a white man. Kamala Harris making these comments about white people, married to a white man. Ilhan Omar making comments about white people, married to a white man. The list goes on and on and on, and oftentimes I will see these videos of these woke individuals talking about how much they hate white people, how white people have been the bane of their existence, they've caused so much problems in their lives, they're responsible for all the ills that we face in society, and find that they are dating white people. Here's an example.
I hate when white people try to validate me. They're literally like, I'm white, but I agree I don't know if you noticed, but I don't need validation from white people. And I feel bad for y'all. Not that bad though, because your ancestors suck and you're stinky and evil.
But let's run the next clip of her boyfriend.
Time moves slow like a snail on the track.
Look at this girl. She's on the beach, just cuffed up next to one of those so-called bleach demons with the sucky ancestors who stinks. What exactly is going on here?
The biggest.
We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Peace and love to everybody. Better I catch y'all tomorrow at 1 o'clock.